Alright, welcome on in everyone to this episode of First CSP, the channel dedicated to bring you the first council shorter patch issued from each council in Scouting America, both past and present. Today we're going to take a look at Silverado Area 38 out of California. This council was originally formed in 1928 as a name change from Napa County, then lasted up until 1992 when it merged with Mount Diablo to form Mount Diablo Silverado 23. In the older collecting guides, the first issue was separated into three variations, the T1A, B, and C. In more recent guides, that's been merged to just all T1 with a range of yellow and state name colors, as well as some border and background variation. We do have the former classifications A, B, and C, so we're going to start on the patch table here with the T1A. Listed with its gray border, light blue background, dark blue name, yellow counties and state, hyphen before Solano. Background varies in shade, yellow varies in luster. Of the yellows, the T1A is the brightest, so it's probably the easiest to identify. Again, the backgrounds for B and C are also pale blue and another light blue. The variations here, because of the twills, are a little difficult to decipher. I do think that the T1A is probably the most evident because of the yellow text, and both the T1B and C are listed as dull yellow, and they do certainly look more dull than this one. We'll show you the side-by-sides in all these. So this we do believe to be the T1A. Let's take a look next at the T1B. See if I can move this up just a little. So the T1B is listed as a gray border as well. This is now listed as pale blue. It is the lightest of the three. Dark blue name, dull yellow counties and state, hyphen before Solano. So we do believe this one to be the T1B. Again, what they're going to be calling light blue versus pale blue, yellow versus dull yellow becomes pretty difficult. We are fairly confident that we have here the T1A, B, and C. We are less confident that we have exactly right that deciphered which one is A, which one is B, and which one is C. But I do believe this is to be the T1A, this is the T1B, and we'll show you the T1C here in just a moment as well. The T1C also going to be listed as having dull yellow, and then they list it as also a light blue. It is more similar in color to the first, but the twill ends up coming across as much darker because these are both smooth twills, and we have a much more rough twill on the last one. Alright, I'm going to swap out the pale blue for a second. So leaving up the T1A, we believe this to be the T1C with what they're calling a light gray border, light blue background, dark blue name, dull yellow counties and state, hyphen before Solano. So we're believing this one to be the T1C. Remember that the T1A and the T1C are both listed as having light blue on the background twill. These are certainly the closest in color because what we believe to be the T1B is the pale blue and is considerably lighter. All of these have since in more recent collecting guides just been collapsed together to be T1. But these are the first three variations of that first issue. Let's see if we can kind of have all three for comparison on screen at the same time. Again, it does look like what we're calling the T1A and the T1B both have smooth twills. We get a much rougher defined grain on the twill for what we're believing to be the T1C. All of these are very easily discerned from the T2s because they start adding BSA. So you do know that a T1 is not going to state BSA, which is different from the T2s and T3s, which have BSA on the patch. Those are the first issues there for Silverado Area 38. Hope you have enjoyed this episode of First CSP. We'll be back again tomorrow with another brand new episode. Hope to see you back for that. Remember, you can catch all of our previous episodes 24/7 at your convenience on the YouTube channel. I want to thank you all for stopping in, making us a small part of your day. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we will catch you on the next episode.